Hey guys, it is me, the Emerald Sword, and welcome back to another video where today I will be reviewing Bag of Bones by Stephen King. So, I want to make a slight correction from my last video, because if you remember my last video where I did the unpopular Stephen King books book haul, I mentioned that all of those books, Psycho the Werewolf, Bag of Bones, and Dreamcatcher, were all rather unpopular. And for Bag of Bones, that's only sort of true. So I've been looking at reviews for Bag of Bones, and it looks like that most of the people who have read it really like it. And that's really good. I really like it too. But of course, as with all things, there are some people that are kind of mixed on it, and there are some people that hate it completely. So that's my bad. That's my fault. So, but yeah, there's a little bit of correction. It's more liked than I thought it was. But anyway, so Bag of Bones is a very strange book. Like, it's really odd. Out of the 35, I think, Stephen King books that I've read, Bag of Bones is certainly one of the stranger ones. So it follows this guy named Mike Noonan. And in 1994, he lost his wife, Joanna, to a brain aneurysm when she was running across a parking lot. But she was also pregnant, which is very unfortunate. And so from 94 to 98, he's just been having a lot of writer's block. Also, just a fun fact, he talked to Ralph Roberts from Insomnia, which I thought was really funny because I just read Insomnia and I reviewed it. But yeah, so basically he's just been having severe writer's block for like the past 4 years. So he decides to go up to his summer home in this place called Dark Score Lake, and it's called Sarah Laughs because he lives in Derry, which is where, It and Insomnia and, like, surprisingly, The Running Man took place. Anyway, so he leaves Derry and he goes to Dark Score Lake to go to Sarah Laughs, which is his summer home. And when he arrives at Sarah Laughs, he quickly realizes something's a little off about the place. There's like some sort of supernatural stuff going on that we'll get into a little bit later. But anyway, so while he's just hanging out at Sarah Laughs, he almost runs over this 3-year-old girl on the road whose name is Kyra. But he thinks her name is Kaya, but her name is Kyra. And then her mother comes home, and she is such a young mother that Mike thinks that she is her older sister, Kyra's older sister, but she is not. She's the mother. And so they kind of get talking, and then we realize that Maddie, which is the mother's name, her name is Mary, but she just goes by Maddie because that's what Kyra calls her. She has been widowed for about a year, and her father-in-law really wants custody of Kyra, but she doesn't really want custody of Kyra. So like the first half of the book is kind of like that situation, like kind of child custody thing. And his name is Max DeVore. He's like a really super rich guy and apparently his great-grandfather and Mike's great-grandfather kind of knew each other back in the day, the early 1900s. So anyway, one day, this is July 17th, Mike finally meets Max DeVore face to face. And Mike has been helping, Maddie and stuff get like a child custody lawyer and stuff. And Max isn't very happy because, of course, he wants custody of Kyra. So he gets Mike to fall into the water, and then he and, I guess, his daughter, who Kyra refers to as the White Nana, also known as Rogette Whitmore, they throw rocks at him in the water and try to drown him and stuff. But luckily, Mike is saved because his wife's spirit comes out of the water and helps him swim to this boat thing or like another piece of land or something, and he's saved. Yeah, so anyway, he escapes, and then the next day or later that night or something, Mike finds out that Max has deleted himself. That's how I'm going to word it. I'm sorry. But so Max has deleted himself in his bathtub. And so now the custody war's over. So yay, the custody war. So now anyway, of course, people are partying. They're like at a barbecue and stuff. They're just like dancing. And then a drive-by shooting happens for some reason. Injures two of Mike's friends and kills Maddie. Yeah, so Maddie dies. Anyway, so that's a bit going too far. I guess I should explain the supernatural stuff now. So as I said, Joanna is kind of like a water spirit now. Well, it turns out that Sarah Laughs is actually like kind of this haunted house a little bit with like some spirits in there, one of which is Joanna, but others of which are not. Like the house is called Sarah Laughs because there was this woman called Sarah Tidwell who was the victim of a very horrifying crime that men tend to commit on women. That's all I'm going to leave it at. So if you know, you know. But yeah, so she was the victim of that violent crime. And meanwhile, her son was also drowned in the lake and stuff. So her spirit is kind of haunting Sarah Laughs, if that makes any sense to you. So, yeah, so then Mike quickly discovers that his house is supernatural, and he looks through this phone book, like page 19 and page 92, and then he finds all these names of the residents of Dark Score Lake, and they all have either S or C in their name, and they are all supposed to be drowned by someone who's like a parental figure, I guess, or like an adult. Anyway, so Sarah starts to get into Mike's head and like starts telling him to drown Kyra, but he fights it off, and he wants to start putting an end to this thing. But he also realizes that Joanna wasn't exactly being honest with him. Apparently she's been going down to Sarah Laughs in the last year of her life for reasons we will find out. But so anyway, Mike goes down to find some of Joanna's secrets, and he finds out that, oh wait, Joanna's been trying to stop this evilness in this house the whole time. So yeah, that's insane. So anyway, that's kind of getting us up to speed. So anyway, after Maddie dies, there's like this giant thunderstorm, which they all refer to as the Storm of the Century, which is funny because Storm of the Century is actually the next book that was published after this one. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, so Mike drives him and Kyra home, and then he goes to stop the ghost. So he like goes down to Joanna's shed, where he gets the visions of the violent crime that happened to Sarah Tidwell. And then there's also like this statue called the Green Lady, who I guess is possessed by Sarah's spirit. I don't know, it's weird. So anyway, apparently to stop her, they need to like disintegrate her bones or whatever. So Joanna's spirit comes back again, holds back the force of Sarah. Well, Mike goes, gets a bottle of lye or something, which I guess is like some sort of acid. I don't know. Anyway, so he pours it on Sarah's bones, they disintegrate, and then Sarah's spirit leaves this mortal realm. Yeah, so now that Sarah's done, and then after Sarah is done, Joanna also is bye-bye. Yeah, she leaves too, which makes Mike really sad. So anyway, Mike goes back up to the house to go get Kyra because she's like sleeping or something, but he finds out that she's been kidnapped. Uh-oh. So he finds out that Roguette has kidnapped Kyra, and they're currently walking towards the woods, or they're walking in the woods, and Roguette, I guess, is trying to like drown Kyra or something in the water. So you know, Mike chases them down. There's like a brief scuffle, and then Maddie's ghost spirit comes out of the water, and then the thunderstorm causes damage to like this dock thing that's there, and then Roguette falls onto the wreckage of the dock, gets impaled, and dies. So yeah, and then there's an epilogue where Mike has retired from writing. So yeah, that writer's block that just overcame him. He had retired from writing, and he's trying to get custody of Kyra. But since he is, in the book's words, a white, unrelated male who's also single, the adoption process is going to get pretty hard, but he might win in the end. And the book doesn't say whether he wins or not, but, you know, we can always hope. And so that's generally the plot of Bag of Bones. That was a weird thing I just described to you. I hope you understood all of that. But yeah, so now we'll kind of get into what this means. So, as of course, I followed along to Bag of Bones with an audiobook, read by Stephen King himself, which was pretty cool. And at the end of the book, there's like a 30-minute long interview after the fact of like Stephen King and like the producer of the audiobook of like where he got the idea and what it like means and stuff. So I'm going to kind of explain that to you. First of all, Stephen King read this one book called Rebecca. I don't know who wrote Rebecca. I'm sorry about that. But Rebecca is kind of like this book written in the perspective of this man's second wife. And she sees a picture of this man's first wife, Rebecca. And her picture is like fantastic. So she must be like pretty and like really nice and stuff. But over the course of the book, the readers and the wife find out that the wife wasn't exactly, like Rebecca wasn't exactly the nicest person out there. And so Stephen King kind of used that as basis for Bag of Bones, because Joanna was keeping secrets from Mike. She was actually going to Sarah Laughs to like stop the evilness or whatever and stuff. And Stephen King also said that this book is about like revenge and past mistakes and like corruption and stuff. And I agree, this house is very corrupted because of some very evil crime that men did a long time ago. And of course, revenge, which is the haunting of the house, and then secrets and the past, which we all discovered together. But yeah, anyway, Bag of Bones is a really weird book. Like, as I said before, out of the 35 Stephen King books I've read so far, Bag of Bones is by far one of the weirdest ones. And it's 21 hours, so depending on how fast you read, it could take you a while. I read 150 pages a day, so I finished it in like 4 days. So I don't know, but yeah, so anyway, Bag of Bones, it's actually really underrated from what I can tell. I really liked it, and people who don't like it, I think it's a little underrated. So I'd say you should give it a read. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching it if you still are. I'm sorry for the long discussion about the book and stuff. I hope I didn't deter you from this book. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you for watching it. Make sure to like the video if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. But yeah, anyway, I've been Ben from the Emerald Sword, and I will see you guys next time.